as much as I can understand that, if attractiveness is the most important ingredient in your partner's selection, you're going to be miserable. You're going to, because she can tell that you're a shallow man, and she can tell that she can manipulate you. Now, if I know that this man just loves a pretty face, and it doesn't actually matter how I behave, but he just loves me because I look a certain way, I don't have respect for him. I will never ever have respect for him, and I will think that I'm irreplaceable because he's so excited by my looks. But if he makes it very clear that you're a beautiful girl, but your behavior also has to be respectable, then a woman naturally gets in line. She wants that man. She doesn't want a man who's a fan. We actually don't want men who are a fan. We say we do, but then we end up treating them like a fan. And how do you treat fans? Oh, go away after a little while.
Yo, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Jeremiah. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashim, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So you see today's lesson, basically it's just about over weak men, right? Men being weak, men being too weak. And she goes into explaining how the characteristics of a man and what women respect and what they don't respect. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, as much as they say they don't like it, they end up finding a man that does, which is boundaries. A man has to have boundaries. But one thing that we can't do is, as men, is teach women an evil lesson. And that's what you end up doing. When you don't have boundaries and when you're just looking at a woman's beauty, that's what you end up doing. You teach her an evil lesson. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, "Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thee." So you can teach your wife an evil lesson, or any woman for that matter. But you know the Bible is strictly, it don't deal with boyfriend and girlfriends. It don't do that. So what is it talking about? It's talking about teaching your wife an evil lesson, or a female. When you go to a female and you trying to spit game at her and you talking about her attractiveness and what she looks like, she automatically knows what your character is as a man. She knows you're not talking about her characteristics, her attributes. You didn't take the time to get to know her. You didn't do any of that. So what you based off your pickup line was based off of her looks and her appearance. And you have just taught her an evil lesson, right? And it gets deeper than that. It gets deeper because what it ends up doing is that she's like, oh, this is how all men think. When a girl reaches a certain age to where she starts to become attracted to men, and she's attracted to men, right? She starts to find out that this is what men, how they operate on. Men just look, they're just about the appearance of a woman and not about her mind and her character, right? Which leads me to the next precept. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 21. It says, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure." This is something that should be tattooed mentally on the forefront of your mind as a man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure, because that's what we end up doing as men. We end up desiring her only for pleasure. You don't want to get to know her. You ain't trying to, and this is why the culture is the way it is today, here, especially here in America. It's a horrible and disgusting and very dangerous culture, right? And it's because of men being weak. Weak men. Weak men have made this society very dangerous and hard. You have the amount of single men in America is at an all-time high. And it's because of weak men. It's because we are only looking, as men, we're only looking at a woman's outward appearance. That's all we taught her. We taught her that evil lesson. That is an evil and wicked lesson, man, that we taught her. Right? And we got to change. It's going to take strong men to change that. It's going to take strong men to be like, nah, I got boundaries. Yeah, you're attractive. Okay, but what else? And you're starting to see that too. You're starting to see men say, what do you bring to the table? Well, what do you mean what I bring to the table? I am the table. I bring this figure, right? That's what they'll end up telling you. They'll start talking about, because we have taught them such an evil lesson for such a long time that that's all they can tell us about. They can tell us about their looks and their appearance, right? And what they got between their legs. That's it. You'll catch them out there on the streets. Just that's all they'll be able to tell you. They're not going to be able to tell you, I'll bring you peace. I'll bring you love. I'll bring you a happy home. I'll bring you dinner when you get home. I'll rub your feet, rub your back, rub your belly. They're not going to be able to tell you those things because their mind don't go there. Because weak men have taught women an evil lesson, right? And like I said, it's going to take us as men to turn this all around. It's not just women, but the Bible tells us that we got to prophesy against our women. We got to let them know that what they're doing is wrong. And what you were taught was wrong. You were taught wrong. So we have to teach them that. But it all starts with us men. It starts with us as men, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, turn away thine eye from the beauty of a woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. And that is a lot of men have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, and that's the evil lesson. That's the evil lesson that was taught to her. She understands that. She understands that lesson that was taught. She understands it very well. And all she has to do is put on some longer eyelashes, some heavier lipstick, some tighter clothes. You know what I'm saying? So that she can get her way, so that she can manipulate you based off of your looks. The key and the point and the conclusion of this lesson, man, is that we cannot go around keep talking about a woman's appearance. It's got to be more than that. You got to have boundaries. You got to be like, look, you got to be able to do more than that. Have you read the Bible? Do you know what Proverbs 31 is talking about? This is what I desire as a man. Right? So we got to bring the power back. We got to bring the order and the structure back. Right? The order and the structure is the way it's supposed to be, because this whole world is out of chaos. And we know all women ain't going to get down with it, just like all men ain't going to get down with it. So there's only going to be the ones that actually listening up here. Like the Bible says, she says, my sheep hear my voice. Right? So we're only looking for the ones that actually hear the word of God, the only ones that are actually obedient to the word, and that's going to understand and follow after him, because that's how this world is going to come take a turn back to where it's supposed to be. This world is horrible, man. This is a horrible place to live in, man. I hate that there's so many single men out there. We don't understand the danger of that. We don't understand how bad that really is. When you got the all-time high rate of single men that's just out here not doing nothing and don't have a wife, and some of them don't even have a desire for a woman, right? But then you have those that do have a desire for a woman. What you think they're gonna do? What you think what's gonna happen if they don't have the Lord? It's gonna be bad. Whether in Second Ezra talk about them pillaging and ravishing women, that's what's gonna happen. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So we gotta stick to the Bible. That's the only way that we're gonna make it out of this, man. We gotta make sure that we're not teaching women an evil lesson. When you go, I hate that we even have to do this as a culture, because it shouldn't. That's not our culture that we have to. But when you go and you start talking to a woman, get to know that woman. Don't talk to her and give her compliments based off of her beauty, off of her attractiveness, off of her figure, her lips. Don't do that. Find out more about her. Is she patient? Is she kind? Does she have a dog? Anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get it together. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 25. It says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee from her eyelids. So don't lust after her beauty. And because what will happen, like I said, your heart will start to incline by her. You will start to get a desire for her. And this is going to go into it too. Watch, this Proverbs chapter 6. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me get, because I wrote this down, but let me get to my Bible real quick. So what's going to happen is, this is going to happen. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26, it says, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the pleasure of life. So, precious life, Slakia. So, okay, so this is like this. I had my brother. He told me a story about, he was homeless at the time, and he said, I seen how women treat these men that don't. They out there on the street corners begging for money. He said they end up with nothing, sometimes less than nothing. And the Bible said that they will take you for a piece of bread. The only thing you will have left is a piece of bread after they're done with you. After a woman is done with you because you're just looking at her attractiveness, her figure, her shape, her lips, her eyelashes, she done took you for all you got left is a piece of bread. You're like, damn, I ain't got nothing else, man. She done took everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we have taught her an evil lesson. She knows she can get and manipulate you and get everything that you have and leave you with that piece of bread. Right? Because of the evil lesson that we taught her. But it says, lust not after her beauty, and let not thy heart incline unto her, because you'll be taken by her. You're gonna be burning by her. Verse 27, it says, can a man take fire in his bosom, and his clothes be not burned? See? So you burning for lust, what you think is gonna happen? You're gonna act on it. But if you have self-control, you can control that fire. You can control that beast, right? You can control that animal. So that's something that we need. We need temperance, like the Bible tells us. This is something that we need as men. This is hurtful to see. It's hurtful to see our people, men and women, in this condition, man. And this is why we do what we do. This is why we go out to the highways. We go all the way to Oklahoma City. We go everywhere to try to tell and wake our people up, man, because this place is going to hell in a handbasket. And this is horrible. And Lord willing, hey, we know what the prophecy says. We know how it's going to get back right again.